Hi, I'm Evan Peterson, and welcome back to MUTV News. Now we're talking politics, specifically Marquette MUSG student government. To my right, I have Zach Bowman. He is the Executive Vice President currently of MUSG. He also chairs two committees. He's the chairman of the Student Organization Funding Committee, SOF, and the chair of the Ad Hoc Committee, which is in charge of reviewing the SOF process. And to him, is his running mate is Marguerite Biagi. You are a junior and the current president of Alpha Phi, correct?
Yes.
Thank you both very much for coming onto the program and sitting down and talking with MUTV News.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, thank you so much.
So first, Zach, let's start off with you.
All right.
This is your chance to introduce yourself to Marquette. Tell them a little bit about who you are.
Well, I'm a junior, like you've already mentioned. I'm a political science and economics major. I've always kind of had a real passion for being involved at a really high level. I started out in RHA and then ran for MUSG Senate. Last year, Sam and I ran for MUSG together, and after that really contentious election that happened last year, we were fortunate enough to win. So I've served in that capacity this year. That's me.
Okay. Marguerite?
So I like long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I was the Vice President of Programming for Panhellenic Association. So the beginning of my involvement in Marquette has been a lot in Greek life, and now I'm the current president of Alpha Phi. I also was the director of Winter Flurry, so I put on Winter Flurry Week this past January. And yeah, more about me. I'm actually a Marquette legacy. My parents came here and met here, so kind of the reason that I'm running is that, I don't know, coming here, I thought about how it was when my parents were here, and especially being a legacy, I was thinking about what my legacy will actually be on this campus and how I want to leave it better than I found it. So, and I think I love being involved, I love involvement, I love Marquette, and that's why I want to serve the students.
Part of that legacy you want to leave is being on the executive board of MUSG.
Yeah, that's the path that's kind of come up.
So let's dive into that a little bit. Tell us about your platform. For those of you who don't know what you guys are doing, where do you guys stand? What do you guys want to do if you were elected?
Yeah, I think there's a couple key issues. Our number one priority is inclusivity, and I think it's kind of a buzzword that gets thrown around a lot, but we have some specific things that we'd really like to tackle if we're elected. At a Catholic Jesuit institution, I think we aspire to be held to a really high standard of making sure that everyone feels welcome no matter where they come from, what they believe in, who they are. And I don't think we've always achieved that level of inclusivity that we'd like to be at. So the campus climate study is something that you might have heard about in the Tribune. I've had the opportunity to sit on the working group that's going to establish that if it actually happens at Marquette. And that sounds like we're doing the weather with this climate study, but it's actually going to be this big campus-wide survey about issues of inclusivity on campus, how people feel, their comfort level, all of those different things. Margaret and I would work really diligently to make sure that that's implemented as soon as possible. I don't think we can address the problems on campus until we've heard from the students about where those problems exist. So that's our number one priority. I think funding is also something that we'd like to talk about a lot. So
funding is really big, just to make sure that students understand the SOF process, student organization funding, and to ensure that the money that students are paying in through their student activity fee is getting back to students through every means. So I know that the kind of joke candidate, Pete Green, who is great, he has said that he wanted to give all the money to all the people, and that is kind of a motto we're going to run with in a more...
Does he know you're going to be borrowing that?
No, we actually just stole it.
We just
did
that right
Pete,
there.
now you know, heads up.
Pete, we really agree with your ideas, and we want to make sure that students are getting the funding that they need and that it is distributed equally, or not necessarily equally, but out to everyone, equitably.
Do you feel that being the current chair of the SOF committees, that gives you an advantage in terms of looking at the budget and making those types of decisions?
Not really. I mean, I've had the opportunity to serve in that role this year, but should we be elected, that's all in Marguerite's realm. I won't be, reaching my hand into her stuff, talking about helping her make those decisions. That'll be on her shoulders mostly.
But he'll for sure be a great resource in the transition. I know that I don't have any prior experience, but neither did Zach when he first became the chair of SOF. So that is something I'm really looking forward to working with and picking his brain and figuring out exactly how he's made it work and how it should work.
Now, we have a wrapping up really quickly, but there's going to be the MUSG debate this Sunday. What can we expect to hear from you two there that you haven't told us right now?
I heard you're moderating. It's going to be a big thing, isn't
You're
it?
moderating?
Yes, I'm going to be moderating. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
What's else included? One other thing on our platform I wanted to mention, alcohol policies. I know last year we had the fines implemented, and students haven't yet been able to access the number about what the quantity of fines collected is, how much money the university is making on these fines. In my current role, I've been able to review those numbers, and they haven't given us the go-ahead to release them yet. I think that's something that students should be able to see, so we're going to work with that.
Terrific. Well, thank you both very much for joining us tonight. I'm Evan Peterson. Now back to you in the studio.